I cannot quite believe I am about to say this, but Blackpool Pleasure Beach Resort, Lancashire, have just announced that in 2026 they will be opening a 138-foot tall Intamin Gyro Swing, one of the tallest gyro swings in the world. Yes, there we have it. The news that was rumoured last year but that we were all very sceptical of has finally been confirmed to be true, as part of the season launch event that Pleasure Beach do around this time every year, where a bunch of influencers and the media are invited down to the park to see a preview of the season. It was confirmed that a project which is known as Project MMXXVI, which is 2026 in Roman numerals, is going to be coming to the park next year, and this is a massive investment in the form of an Intamin Gyro Swing pendulum flat ride. Rumours first started to emerge of this ride back in August 2024, where a filing was put on the Companies House website, which is just a government accounting website basically, and this was a filing for a loan for a proposed Intamin Gyro Swing, and this got everyone, including myself, very excited but also a little bit sceptical, as at the time, and this is still the case, there was a lot of ride closures around the park, and it just seemed that Pleasure Beach wasn't in a great financial situation. To further add to this scepticism, a few days later it came to light that this loan had actually been satisfied, so a lot of people just assumed that this project had been completely cancelled. But later that year we saw the Bowler arcade, which had remained quite derelict for a while, completely closed off from public access. We saw signs put on the door stating that surveying's in progress, so that then caused people to question again and gain a bit more hope. Could this arcade be potentially being knocked down for this potential new gyro swing that had been filed on Companies House earlier in the year? And it would turn out that those people were right, as in the closed season that arcade was completely knocked down, and we entered the park on the 1st of March 2025 only to find that construction walls had been put all around that site, and these are very tall construction walls as well. It was very clear that the park were really trying to hide something big, and that brings us on to today, where they finally have confirmed this. I obviously wasn't at the season launch where this investment was confirmed light, so I'm only going off what I've seen on social media. But in terms of what we know so far, we obviously know it's going to be 138 foot tall. It's going to be the same model of ride as Loki at Leesburg, so it's going to sit 40 riders, and it's going to have lap bars, unlike a lot of these rides which have OTSRs, so it's naturally going to offer a lot of disgusting airtime, and it is an investment of £8.5 million for the park, which it seems absolutely extortionate for a flat ride, but it's also promising, I guess, in a sense. I don't think the park would make an investment of this size if they were absolutely broke and it would risk them going into bankruptcy. In my eyes, this is in some way a really good sign that times are looking good for the park and that it's going to have a bright future. As I briefly alluded to before, there's been a lot of debate over the number of closed rides at the park. We obviously had Ice Blast closed, which has been converted into Launchpad, which is yet another investment, and that's opening this year. River Caves has been closed, that's getting reimagined. And the park also announced earlier this year that 5 rides are going to be remaining closed for the 2025 season. A lot of people just assume that this was just being done to cost cut, and who knows, that might be true to an extent, but the fact that the park are willing to invest this much in what is literally just a flat ride and nothing more makes me really hopeful that they're going to go all out with some of the other rumoured developments that could potentially come to fruition, such as a new attraction on the site of the Grand Prix. I'm really, really excited for this new investment. I've never ridden a ride exactly of this type, but I have ridden other pendulum type rides that are similar, such as Cyclinator at Poulton's Park, which is a Zamperla style gyro swing ride, and Vortex at Fort Park, which is a KMG afterburner, and I absolutely love those two rides. So to have a ride of that style at Pleasure Beach, but literally twice if not 3 times the size, it's going to be absolutely incredible. I think it's going to be the best flat ride in the UK. It's a flat ride I'll actually ride, unlike another recent flat ride investment, Toxicator at Alton Towers, because they're not too sickening gyro swing type rides. They're intense, they pull a lot of positive force, but they don't make you really dizzy or anything like that. One thing I do find quite interesting is the teaser video for this that Pleasure Beach have put out, along with the way they've worded their post. They've used a snake emoji at the end. It has this kind of scalic, snaky style going through it, which I find interesting because Icon also has that stylisation to an extent. So if the ride is to be themed or stylised around snake or serpent-esque creatures, it's an interesting one. But at the end of the day, it's not that deep. Pleasure Beach is an amusement park, not a theme park. We're getting a gyro swing. It's going to be incredible. It's going to change the entire skyline of the park. And hopefully it'll bring some new crowds in as well, because let's face it, Pleasure Beach has been quieter than we would all like within the past couple of years. My camera's just died as I've been talking about a dead amusement park. What appropriate timing. I guess I'll just have to finish this video on my phone because this is breaking news. I can't wait for my camera to charge. But on the topic of Pleasure Beach being dead, I just want to reiterate, please go and support the park if you live locally or if you're just an enthusiast in general who lives in the UK. These family-run parks really need your support. This is a huge investment for a park of Pleasure Beach's size and scale to be making, and if it doesn't get great return, the park could face major financial challenges going forward, so your support is more important than ever. I'm just so happy with this news though. This is the first investment in the form of a major attraction we've seen since Icon back in 2018, so this is absolutely huge. It's safe to say 2025 has not been the best year for the industry, with things such as Oakwood closing and major cuts within entertainments at Merlin. There's been a lot of negative videos on this channel recently, so it's great to actually film something positive for once, something that we can all celebrate. And it's not been the best year for me either. We've had difficulties with family and health, etc., including regarding myself to some extent. So to have news like this is the kind of news we all live for. Now, as I said, the supposed construction site is completely blocked from view by construction walls. If you do look to the side when you're on the big one, you can see a bit of groundwork on that site. But obviously, we're not allowed to film on ride at Pleasure Beach, and I'm not going to take a drone up there or anything like that out of respect of the park's privacy. But if there is anything we can get a view of, then I will film some sort of update video or even a series of videos if possible regarding this project, because it is so big. I don't do that with all the projects that happen at Pleasure Beach because I just feel that sort of content would get a bit repetitive for you guys. So for more minor things such as Launchpad, I'm only covering the major milestones and major announcements. But I feel that this project does deserve an entire construction update series if possible. But apart from that, I will be back at the park this weekend filming a vlog and updates video from around the park, because there are some other things that have gone on since opening day that are worth covering. But in the meantime, speaking of opening day, we had an amazing day. Click the video on the right side of your screen to check out that video. And for more things theme park related in the UK and beyond, make sure you click the icon in the centre of your screen to subscribe.